Hey, welcome in to the Mystery Fifth Hour, presented by McCurry Van Car Rental. They've got the car, van, or truck you need, and they make it really, really easy to rent. Get you in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and in Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. You can reserve your rental today by calling 256-559-1003 or visit McCurryRentals.com. That's McCurryRentals.com. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel and set your alerts so you know when we're live. That is every day, 9 to 1. You can also follow us on social media at Next Round Live. He is Lance Taylor. He's Rockstar Sean Henniger. He's Jim Dunaway. I'm Ryan Brown. Thank you for joining us. Rockstar is going to get us started.
Have you guys ever had or known you have a mistaken identity with somebody else, or they have a mistaken identity by you? My example is when we were at, I guess it was Citadel Broadcasting at the time, we had a guy that worked with us. He was very tall, and I noticed that he avoided me a lot. We'd pass each other in those long hallways, and he'd always look down. And I was like, I've never really had an interaction with him. And we'd share the elevator in the morning.
Think you were Nick Saban?
Yeah, I wish. He wouldn't talk to me in the elevator. Like, he'd just be, and then finally one day, we passed in the hallway, and he goes, "Hey, aren't you dating Anna?" And I said, "Who?" And he goes, "Anna so-and-so." And I was like, "Man, I have never heard of that name before in my life." And he's like, "Oh, well, like, I've been kind of pissed at you because so-and-so told me that you've been dating Anna, so I can try to, like, avoid you because she's my ex." And I was like, "Dude, nope. I don't know who that girl is." He's like, "Oh, man, I'm sorry." And I was like, "For the past 3 months, you've just been a complete dick to me because you
You thought I was dating your ex?
Dating your ex, which I don't even know who this person is." And so, like, that, after that, and then another place for the opposite example, Lance and I and Will Haver went to Sensations. You remember Sensations?
We went to see a little midget dance, didn't we?
We didn't get to see her. She was featured that night because we had trivia that night.
It was a strip club in Trussville that lasted for about a month.
Yeah.
There was a shootout, and it was done.
So
yeah.
Trussville
had a strip club?
Yeah.
So they had.
Do you not remember? It was 2008, 2009?
I did not.
We may have talked about it on broadcast too. It may have been a sponsor. And so we got there, and there was a claw machine.
They were a sponsor.
Yeah, there was a claw machine. Instead of having like
cash in advance, I hope.
stuffed bears and stuff like that, they had
Sex toys?
adult novelty things and DVDs. You can get your little claw machine. So anyway, we were watching this girl that danced.
Great business plan, by the way. Lasted a month.
Gonna need 2 claws for this one.
I don't even need a claw for this one. There's a girl dancing on stage that should not be dancing on stage. And I turned around.
Wasn't it some random weekday afternoon?
Yeah, it was like on Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
Trivia that
A
night.
Wednesday afternoon at a strip club in Trussville.
Well, I think we went for dinner at 5 o'clock.
I mean, it's not like you guys were around the major leagues.
Yeah, Dunaway's right. I don't know what you had in mind.
Well, I didn't have anything in mind. I was like, this is going to be a
No,
great
we thought we
night.
were going to see the midget. Yeah. That was what they really promoted, was a midget dancer.
But behind us was the bar, and I turned around, and it was about 50 feet away, and there's this girl with glasses, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's so-and-so. I went to school with her." And Lance was like, "Okay," and I was like, "I'm going to go talk to her because I haven't seen her since high school." And I start walking up, I'm like, say her name, and kind of wave to her, and she kind of waves to me back, and I'm walking up, and I go, "I'm this close," and I'm like, "You are not who I thought you were. I'm so sorry." And I just turned around and walked away.
She says, "I could be."
No, she would not have been a dancer because the dancer on stage was rough.
Yep.
So I don't even know who second string was that day. But so that's my other mistaken identity, where you kind of wave to somebody like my wife Nancy. We're leaving from a place to eat, and there's a girl carrying a baby. Well, she's got those big sunglasses on, and so Nancy goes, "Claire." The girl stops. "Claire, it's Nancy from Auburn," and she goes, "My name's not Claire." And but Nancy's like, "But you stopped." But I was like, "Well, you're looking directly at her." But she had a baby, like an infant on her, and I was like, "That's not." She's like, "My name's not Claire. My name's Mary Ashley or something like that." And so Nancy's like, "Oh, you look like my friend Claire from college." That's that awkward. Like, how do we break this up?
I did it in Nashville. Katie Galooly.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We were at a brewery, and I was like, I saw Katie, and I was like, "Katie," I was like, "You said you weren't coming for SEC Media Days." And she's like, "I'm not Katie." I was like, "Holy shit!"
you are.
No, Lance came back in
I told her, I was like,
got to go see this person that looks just like her, and I never could find her out there, but he sent me to see her.
I'll tell you an incredible one though. There used to be a bar. It was still there. It's called Hole in the Wall, but it's not the hole in the wall it once was. It's in Buckhead, Atlanta, and my buddy Sly Dog. I won't release his real name, but Sly Dog was in there.
Was he the one that got bit by a shark, or was his kid?
His kid got bit by the shark. I got the pictures, crazy. But he was in there, and this girl thought he was Eric Zier. It was back in the mid-'90s.
Oh, you go with that one, though.
He went with it.
Atlanta.
He went with it all night till the next day.
Yeah, did he really?
And then she found out he wasn't Eric Zier, yeah.
How did she find out?
I think, like, when push came to shove and exchanging of numbers and things like that, it just came
What's
out.
your number?
It's going to be really weird. I'm going to have a 205 area code now.
Yeah. My
That's
number-
Alabama.
Paul.
Alabama was recruiting
Yeah,
me,
and
and they gave me
I
the
don't
cell
have to get up
number.
and I don't have any kind of like priority today or any kind of commitment. But yeah, he went with Eric Zier all night.
Well, so what happened when she found out you're not Eric Zier?
I forgot how that story went because it's been a long time. It's been
Yeah.
almost 30 years.
Oh, didn't
but,
you say you're like a tennis player from Europe or something?
Oh yeah, I've been that. I was talking. So I met this dude over the weekend, and we were talking, and he's like, "That's it's the great thing about like when you're at a bar, you can tell anybody you're anything." And I was like, "You could." I was like, "Back in the '90s, this shit worked. Like I've been a Formula One driver. I've been a tennis player.
Formula One driver.
Oh, yeah.
With your accent. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't really ask questions. But now with Google, you go to the bathroom, they Google you. You can't get away with that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
My friend Tim Leach and I was dating who was now my wife, Jennifer, and he was dating one of her friends. This is so random, but we were in a Shoney's,
Hell yeah.
and we were going to see if we could get a meal. We were in high school, maybe seniors in high school. We were going to see if we could get the meal for free, so we told them we played football at Alabama. And I want to say, Alabama had a punter named Brian Dill. Like, I wasn't going to try to play it up like I was a middle linebacker. I knew my role. Tim played football at SAG, so he was a bigger guy, and I can't remember the name he used, but I just went with punter Brian Dill. And we played it up, and the waitress, and so then they had people coming over asking for autographs, like Shoney's employees. I'm like, you freaking want the autograph of the Alabama punter, but whatever. So I signed Brian Dill. And then the table behind us got up and left, and they were like, "Hey, roll Tide! Y'all beat Tennessee this year, okay?" We're like, "Okay, we're going to try."
This is the year.
This is the year.
You're not going to believe this. One time we're going to beat them 16 years in a row.
So I mean, this was in the '90s when Tennessee. So anyway. So we did it all along, and we still had to pay for the meal. So like we played that all the way to the very end, and thought maybe they would
Brian
our
Deal
meal.
had to pay for the meal.
Brian Deal, Alabama punter, paid for the meal.
God, I remember I was a wedge buster for the Rams one night in Nashville.
Were you really
Yeah,
a
'cause
wedge buster?
I went to and your story like jarred that memory. Mondelli had some kind of party. He had a cast on, and so the story all night was he had got hurt in training camp, and I was a wedge buster for the Rams. Pretty funny.
That is good. I like that. If you ever did local TV, you got messed up for the more popular people all the time. In my whole life, I can't tell you how many times I've been Ken Lass. I've been Mike Dubberly. I got yelled at in the...
How do you mess that up though?
I don't know, but in Houston, in the airport, walking from one terminal to another, somebody else, I was going to some Alabama bowl trip. You may have been with me. Somebody screamed from the top tier, "Mike Dubberly!"
Where?
And I was looking around, and they were like, "Dubberly!" And I looked up, and they were waving. I was like,
Hey.
I mean, it's too far away to even correct them. Just, yeah,
No,
Mike Dubberly.
I've been with you numerous times where people are like, "Hey, Dunaway, how's the weather going to be?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get good sunshine this
That was
weekend?"
always the Publix checkout lady was that way. Different ones, inevitably
I'm
like,
I'm like that.
hey,
So did you
it's
check the forecast before
What's
you
the
went
weather?
into
What's the
Publix?
weather? Oh, I always give a fake forecast. Yeah,
No, we got snow coming up, and people have been buying milk and bread.
always a
Cool
fake forecast.
wind coming this way.
But you kind of wish you would have done weather, right?
Yeah, I was always prepared to break a little. I knew enough weather to get through it.
But people will get. I've been with you when people get your name right and ask you about the weather.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like they knew enough to know your name, but then they thought you did weather instead of sports.
Technically, the only one thing I never did in TV was the weather.
Yeah.
I anchored news. I did morning traffic. I did all.
Like I've been with Dunaway when I've heard it was like, "Jim, man, tell Janet Hall we said hello," and Jim's like, "Okay, I will." And I'm
We
like,
all hang in the same circles.
"She's on Fox 6, right?" Yeah.
But
she's
do
on
they
Fox
make
6.
everybody double up now? Like I was watching our buddy Brittany Decker the other night, and she's like on the desk, and then she's doing weather, and I'm like, Jesus, I mean, how much stuff do you want to throw at this chick?
Brittany, tell them about the Crimson Tide scrimmage.
She throws it to herself.
She really did, though. Is that normal?
Brittany's here for the 5-day
I think it
forecast
is
now.
now. I think it's like in any media they're trying to cut costs. I'm sure.
And another one for me was during this Black Jacket tour, John Campbell, the first tour they did was Led Zeppelin. He's been in studio with us playing.
I saw him at Odie's the other night playing.
Him and Alan.
Oh yeah, he did. He was the one that did Plant in the.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
so
yeah,
good.
he's
So
really
we
good.
look very similar, don't we? No, we're both Caucasian. That's about it. So
Right.
out of, I would say if we did 25 shows at least 17 of them when we were taking pictures, people would go like, dude, we saw you and you crushed Led Zeppelin. I go, oh, that wasn't me, that was John Campbell. No, we were here, it was you. And I'm like, no, it's another singer named John Campbell. That's him. Like, but you were so good doing Robert Plant. Like, to be able to transition into Lindsey Buckingham, I was like, again, that wasn't me. And they'd argue with me going like, dude, you were so good with that. And I was like, it's not me. So that's another thing where people, I guess, see you from a distance. We look nothing alike.
Didn't you audition for it though?
I did the very first, second Black Jacket show. They did Led Zeppelin 4, whatever Stairway's on. Is that 4?
Yeah. So I would say though, outside of Queen, like Robert Plant in his heyday would be the most difficult.
Axl Rose.
Yeah. But that guy kills Axl.
Yeah, we did. We got on there, and that was when Damon Johnson was a part of it. So it was an audition, and we had to audition in front of Jay and a couple other people on a stage. And I was to do Black Dog, Rock and Roll, and Stairway to Heaven. And I got to Rock and Roll, and I was like, I'm good. I can do Plant for maybe half a song, and then I'll lose my voice. And I did it, and Rock and Roll was just awful. And Damon, I was like, y'all need to do Pearl Jam. And Damon was like, no, if we ever do Pearl Jam, I'm singing. And so I was like, okay. And then Rogoff was like, we'll be in touch. And I was like, dude, the guy, Buck Johnson at the time, who's now playing with Aerosmith, was the one that did it. And I was like, that's your guy. And I was like, I'm not going to be the one that's like, well, I can do it too, because he was incredible. This is like 2010, 2011. So didn't make the Led Zeppelin cut. And I don't deserve it. I cannot sing like that. Kudos to John Campbell.
I was at a party once, and it was a very large group at the party. And it was people, now this has probably been 10 or 15 years ago, so I was in my 30s. So it was people my age, and then there was people that were older, and there was this guy and his wife. I probably met their daughter 2 times. Enough she would know I know her dad, but probably could not tell you her name. Or could not tell you my name, and I don't know that I could tell you her name. So Jennifer and I are at the party, and we're standing there talking to people, and they come in the door, and they're looking. What I don't realize is their friends are standing behind me. So she comes in and is smiling and waving like, I haven't seen you in forever. So I'm going to try to be nice too, right? I'm like, hey, and I start walking towards her, and we're like walking towards each other, and then I realize she's looking past me, right? I mean, how
Worst
awkward is
feeling
this,
in the
right?
world.
Oh, worst feeling in the world. So, but I end up making her feel bad, so we're walking together, and then we make eye contact as we're getting closer, and then she realizes what I have done, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was waving at them," and I said, "I beg your pardon." And I don't know what made me think to do this quick. She goes, "I was over there." I was like, "Oh no, I was talking to somebody behind you." She's like, "Oh, I am so embarrassed."
Behind you, the glass wall.
Well, it was one of those deals where the party was good, like it was very believable, and I don't know, like what instinct made me lie about that to cover my embarrassment, but in turn embarrass her too.
Yeah, not to that
degree,
degree, but I think it happens like every other month to me. Like going in a restaurant or a bar or something.
Oh, yeah, like somebody's waving, you think they're waving at you?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and as I'm walking towards her, I realize what I've done, and I'm like, this is so embarrassing.
You get all hot.
Yeah, you do. You get all hot, and I can feel my face turning red. But I'm thinking, like, the embarrassing part was like some 18-year-old girl's waving at me. Why would an 18-year-old girl that I maybe have been around twice why would I even think she was waving at me, right?
It's a great question.
I know. It was Jim. She wasn't, as it turned out. She was waving at people behind me. But when I told her that, she got so embarrassed. And I'm like, I was the one that was really embarrassed, and out of my selfishness, I've now embarrassed her.
See, if I had Rockstar's vocal talent, I would have dropped a Scott Hansen on you real quickly. Why did you think the 18-year-old was
Keith Morrison?
Yeah, but Scott Hansen's who you're talking about. He used to do the Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
I see it on TikTok all the time now.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
Is Chris Hansen in jail?
No, he's doing that show again. All right,
he's not doing. He was.
But he got some kind of.
He was having an affair with like one of his producers or something like that.
He wasn't banging a kid.
He didn't get popped in a.
No.
But I think
the producer was of age.
Yeah,
she was of age, but then his wife catch him by like some sort of video or something, right?
Yeah,
that was the irony.
We got to work late again tonight. We're shooting something and something like that. But then they took To Catch a Predator off because that dude committed suicide. It was
a district attorney.
Yeah,
assistant DA or something.
And they're like, we can't. This is trouble. We got the guys in the bushes with all the leaves and everything that are covered up in military gear to tackle.
You got to touch
You're
over
free
the top.
to go. Oh, click and go. Well, you're free to go. I'm not the police. And then, get on the ground.
The police
Holy hell! And
but
they're like-
those guys are the
Yeah,
police.
just imagine this is the amount of what you're going to do, what you're attempting to do. I always think this: the absolute high you're on, as bad as it is, the high you're on, like I'm actually going to get away with this. Like this is actually happening. I'm actually going to pull the trigger this time. And then Chris Hansen's there from that high to that low that quick, and it's like my life is over, and I'm on TV. I'm going to be on TV, national TV Friday night with my chat log like. Aren't you Mr. Thang 69?
That's what he does. And he goes,
No.
Yeah, you said, and I quote, I would like to take a shower with you and rub soap all over your back. Why would you say
No,
that?
my buddies have my account, and they always mess with it. Why are you here?
And why do you have Bartles and James with
Are
you?
you surprised though nobody went to their car and got like a AR-15 and just unloaded on the entire crew?
Yeah.
No, because remember they tackled him and they tased him and got him. That you're free to leave. When they got out, but the one guy that barricaded himself in his house because he saw them coming and just ended his life. So they're like, we can't do this.
Oh, so he killed himself on the air?
No. He never.
It never aired.
He never showed up. No, I've seen this.
I bet that would have been the most viewed one.
Oh yeah.
Slow on TikTok.
No, I did. I said
like
they're all over
12 years
TikTok.
ago.
Yeah, but they're back. They're on TikTok. So I saw it. So
Dateline is?
this part, the Catch a Predator.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, they had the chat logs from this guy. He had set the meeting, and then he no-showed. So they were going to go to his house and arrest him anyway because he had sent like photos and stuff like that, and he was an assistant district attorney. So they're like, we got to arrest this guy. We can't let this guy slide for it. So when they approached the house, he ended it. He knew what was going down, but he was never on the show. But Rockstar's right. That's what ended the show. Was like, all right, maybe we've taken this a little too far here.
Yeah.
Let's let
We're jump the shark moment?
yeah, let's let police do their
We're
work.
the bad guys here.
Yeah.
Now.
But I mean,
But
it
it's
is.
just the awful thing where they have a little actress girl like, come on in, I'm just making some cookies. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just sitting down. And like the false.
Nobody ever
excitement.
gets out for entrapment.
She's real. She's real. And then, hey, why don't you sit down there? Oh, shit.
No, but they always like, again, I watched them on TikTok again. It's amazing how many of them are like, look, I was just concerned about her well-being. She should not be on these chats talking to adults. And I was coming to make sure she was okay.
Well, did you drive 4 hours?
I did, but
Did you say you're going to bring chicken McNuggets in Stella? Do you have that in your car?
No,
well,
they're
yeah, but I
they're
mean,
like one of them was like, he goes, you sent her a photo of your genitals, and he goes, no, I did not. He goes, I've got the photo right here, and it's all blurred. And he holds it up, it's all blurred. The guy goes, I did not mean to send that.
You responded to the text, Jay.
No, it's like, and then he said,
I'm not sure those are mine.
I know, he goes, how could you send this by accident? He goes, I just got a bunch of photos on my phone.
It's
And
a new phone.
Yeah, he goes, I think I meant to send her a photo of myself. He goes, you did?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, not that part of me, just my face and all. He goes, so let me get this story straight. You meant to send a photo of your face and you sent a photo of your genitals?
Why are you sweating? It's hot in here.
He's just holding it up the whole time.
But
And the guy's
they
like,
travel so like that was such a great show. That was like appointment watching, as bad as the stories are.
No, it
that
was fantastic.
Appointment viewing to see those because they ran it for like 2 months.
well, because it was,
But the sad thing is, you see that people would get convicted by the judge, and they'd spend like a month in jail and pay like a small fine, and like they're out.
yeah, but
They're
you get
back.
on that registry.
Yeah.
But it's just still like it's not really like sad that the punishment that came. That was like they're not really doing anything because the police aren't interfering.
You would be shocked at how many people are registered sex offenders. Like
That's-
somebody pulled up a map, and you can do it. I forgot where it is.
Yeah, you can do it for your zip code and see how close they are to your house.
They're everywhere.
But you could have it could be like an 18-year-old that was having sex with a 16-year-old.
And it could be you taking a piss in front of a schoolyard. I mean, there's.
That's why Dunaway doesn't go to the bathroom on the golf course.
I think about it every time. I do go occasionally when I have to go.
Well, you
Hence
did.
me pooping my
You
pants.
did at Benbrook the other day, yeah.
But,
I didn't hear about that. So you shit your pants.
I did. I had something that happened.
Was it a shark?
I had 3 really bad diarrhea episodes, but I still played golf.
He fall
So,
through. He
but
fall through.
Until late, I called him and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna have to meet you at the course. I can't meet the ride with you guys."
Would you have gotten on a plane at this point?
Yeah, I think I would have because I felt like there was nothing left. I mean, at that point, I was going to be whatever the dry heaving part of pooping is. Thought it was be dry pooping, and so.
Just anal gland juices.
Oh God, right.
But all I'm
Take a
doing,
picture.
all I'm doing is drinking, and we're on hole 15, and I have
not alcohol.
No, just I was hitting all the electrolytes, Body Armor, all the
Powerade,
Powerade
yeah.
Zeros. So that's all I was drinking, that and water. So I'm 15 holes in, 2.5 hours in. I haven't peed in 4 hours, and I got to pee really bad. So it got to the point where I was
So you
about
decided to piss out of your ass.
I was about to wet my pants, and when I started that, it started running out the backside too.
And but the good news is you were on 16, right?
15. Just finished 15, about to do 16.
What kind of pants do you have on?
Shorts.
White?
Shorts. Now, I wore gray just in case there was a little
Oh, so you
leakage.
planned ahead?
Yeah.
But did it
Rockstar
ruin
showed
it?
me a video of some like reporter in Brazil that shed her white pants.
She backed out
Oh.
of the shot. She had to back out of the shot. It was,
Did it ruin those shorts? I can't believe I'm asking this
It
question.
did not ruin them. No, I washed them and wore them again Saturday.
Oh, okay. I like you. Get back on that horse.
These are my shitting britches.
Yeah. You know what they are not right now? They're not my breaking into the 80s britches. I shoot shitty golf at them every time I've worn them. I've worn them twice now, and they've been
Did you
shitty.
finish the round?
I did. I
Had
did.
to, man.
I did.
But you went and told your boys. You're like, hey, y'all.
Oh, I did. I told you guys.
You're walking to the whole-
I penguined it back to the to the golf cart, ripped my towel off, walked back into the weeds, squat down because it was the weeds up to about here, squatted down, then cleaned up as best I could.
You're Dunaway.
That's the way they're going to
Hey.
My
make this weekend.
son really wants to meet you.
Copperhead bites those balls.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I mean, they will fall off.
Yeah.
I was
Or-
risking at that point. I was risking it.
Poison
at that point.
ivy,
Yep.
copperhead. I mean, there were a lot of
Wiping
things.
with a pine cone.
Yeah, a lot of things could have gone wrong there.
Yeah, yeah. So there is a barstool towel in the weeds off of the 15th green 16 tee box at Bent Brook.
Yeah,
You
somebody's
want
balls probably on that too.
You,
I found it.
you hit that shot right there. That was a shitty shot. It's rained since then. That thing's probably practically clean.
That is the mystery fifth hour. I mean, our guys at McCurry, some of the stuff that we've had to transition into to talk about McCurry, they must love us. McCurry Van Car Rental, the local rental company you can depend on. All kinds of vehicles to choose from, trucks, SUVs, passenger vans. They make it super easy, too, to rent. They get you in and out fast. Locations at Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. You can reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That's McCurryRentals.com. Make sure to give us a thumbs up on the video here. And make sure you subscribe and set your alerts on our YouTube channel. We're live 9 to 1 every day. And you can follow us on social media at Next Round Live. Thank you for joining us on the Mystery Fifth Hour.